Hi, good morning learners. We are on our fourth week at CPDLF. Hopefully things are going well for you. By now you should have completed your diagnostic in your power focus areas. That should be completed. I was going through that the other day and some of them are still not completed. So please make sure you're completing them. This is how we know that you're in the SLP. You're working is for me to see these assignments turned in. You should also have checkpoint 1 turned in, so I can look at it, make some comments, give it back to you, because remember we're working up to our final project. And let me see what else here. And you should also have taken your content assessment by now. Remember, to take your content assessment, you have to request permission. And you only want to request permission if you went through the material. Okay, so if you looked at everything in the focus area, you feel great about it, you took notes, you printed, you're like, I know this information, I am ready for the content assessment, then you ask to take it. Okay, I think it only stays open for 8 hours, if I'm correct. So that means that if you ask me at noon and I open it up, then you will have until about 8 o'clock that evening. Okay, I don't always get your email right away or your content assessment request, okay? So if you want to take it sometime during the day, I usually check in the morning and I check in the afternoon and usually before I leave. I do leave around 3:30 because I come in around 7:30. And then it's harder for me to set them once I go home. I'm usually going to a baseball game or soccer practice or something like that. So it's very important that if you want to complete it, that you send me it and I get it back to you before I leave for the day. And I will even send you an email saying, I submitted it. It's good to go. It's open. And if you want me to open it, usually my email is something that I check more so than the summit. Okay, so send me an email and I will open it up and I'll let you know that it's opened and that you'll have around 8 hours to take it. But please, please only take it if you have looked at your power focus area here. So when you go to take the medieval one, you will have looked through all of this information, taken notes, printed, and then you request up here to take the content assessment. You have to get out of 8 out of 10 correct to pass. Okay, and that is our goal, obviously, is to master the content. It's not to rush through it and, not learn what we should be learning. Okay, so let's review again. And I'm actually going to make a little chart up and send this to everybody in the class, but you should have your power focus diagnostic taken. Okay, that is right here. That should be taken. You should have your content assessment taken and hopefully have scored it 8 out of 10 at least, and your checkpoint 1. Okay, so that is what we have completed so far. Now, this upcoming week, we are going to actually go back in here and we are going to go into the geography additional focus area. And again, take the diagnostic assessment, go through all of the material, not quite as much, and then request to take this content assessment. And you'll have 2 weeks to do this. This content assessment is not due till September 22nd. Okay, so I'm giving you 2 weeks to go through this, but I would like the diagnostic taken as soon as you can. Okay, this way, like I said, I know you're working, I know you're on pace. If you get behind, it's very, very difficult to get caught up. That is a big thing with cyber school. That's my takeaway. You've got to stay on pace because once you get behind, it's very, very difficult to get caught up. Okay? For this week, though, the only thing that is due is checkpoint number 2. Okay, so let's just go back here and we'll review this checkpoint if I can go back here. Okay, so we're going to go into the projects and we're going down to the second checkpoint. You should have already have completed this, the first one, the Dark Ages in Europe, source analysis. Now we're going to the Golden Era. And you'll go through this, and essentially they want you to find sources that you looked at from the focus area that deal with this time period being a golden era, that it's good, that good things have come out of it, okay? And it's not just the Dark Ages. And if you look through the sources, you're going to find things. So you'll go through, the first one is to find 2 sources talking about being a golden era. Then you'll go down and you'll look at those sources, write a paragraph, and then what happened during the golden era in civilization around the world. So you're looking at it from a more positive perspective. Okay, and the rubric is down here. Okay. So please, like I said, stay on pace, making sure that you're completing what is due by the end of each week. Okay, so let's just recap again. You should have taken your Power Focus Diagnostic launch essentially the week of the 28th. So that should already be done and turned into me. You should have completed checkpoint 1 already, and you should have completed your content assessment for the Power Focus areas. Okay, this week coming up, you are completing checkpoint number 2, and you are going into the additional Power Focus area, geography. You are taking the diagnostic, so take the diagnostic, and then you'll be looking through this material, and we'll eventually take the content assessment for this area. This content assessment is not due until the 22nd. Okay? So I hope that sums things up. I'm going to make a chart for you. I'm going to send it to you. That way, if you have any questions, it'll have like a little pace chart, when it was assigned, when it was due, and hopefully that will help keep you on pace. But that is the big takeaway. You've got to stay on pace. You've got to reach out to me if you have questions. You've got to be putting in the time. Okay, around 5.5 hours a day, 5.5 is a school day. So you should be in my class for at least an hour a day, working away, asking questions. We do have learning labs if you need help, if you're local. Okay, so take advantage of that as well. Okay, so if you have any questions, reach out to me. If not, you have a wonderful week. Thanks. Bye.